Beach. Welcome everybody. All of you here in the audience at Salem Road and all of you in our live stream audience on Facebook, welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a great band here again today, lots of musicians and singers, people to lift our hearts with music. I want to remind all of you that there's a little handout over on the table that has both of our prayers that we say here, the Aramaic translation of the Lord's Prayer and also the updated prayer from James Dillett Freeman. It's on a handout like this. On the back is an extensive list of our outreach groups for whom we're collecting various supplies. So just wanted to remind you, you've got those prayers. When it comes time to say them, you can say the real words instead of watermelon, watermelon, watermelon. Okay. So as we're getting settled in, and before we have our next song, I'd like to read to you a writing from Meister Eckhart, and this is in honor of the Feast of St. Francis, the teacher, the spiritual leader and guide, and some call him a saint, who's known as the patron saint of animals. So this is called Love Does That. All day long a little burro labors, sometimes with heavy loads on her back, and sometimes just with worries about things that bother only burros. And worries, as we know, can be more exhausting than physical labor. Once in a while, a kind monk comes to her stable and brings a pear. But more than that, he looks into the burro's eyes and touches her ears, and for a few seconds, the burro is free and even seems to laugh, because, you see, love does that. Love frees. Beautiful, from Meister Eckhart. So we take a deep breath and we give thanks for this day. We give thanks for all the blessings we see within it and those that we are yet to see. We set intention for this service for peace and healing and renewal and regeneration of our bodies, minds, our spirits. We give thanks for the healing power, that river of life that moves through us and around us. And as each one of us says and receives words of encouragement, we give thanks for the uplift. And we say, so it is, and so we let it be. Namaste. And now our band is bringing us I Release and I Let Go from Ricky Byers and the Agape Band originally.
There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you got to let it go, let it all go, and this is what I have to say. I release and I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. Live my faith, I see the light. I am more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Is it just me, or are they sounding better and better and better and better and better all the time? Yeah. The energy with which they sing, I looked over and I caught Patty's face, and on the line, no more struggle. Sing it, Patty. Okay, so as we take another deep breath together, we are invited to say our Lord's Prayer together on this handout if you don't know it by heart. And this is translated from the Aramaic, the language that we know that Jesus spoke. So all together, please. Father, Mother, Birther, and Breath of all, create a space inside us and fill it with your presence. Let oneness now prevail. Your one desire then flows through ours as energy fills all form. Give us this day our physical and spiritual nourishment, and untangle the knots of air that bind us as we release others. Do not let appearances make us forgetful of the source, but free us to act appropriately. From age to age, through you, flow the glorious harmonies of life. May these words be fertile statements through which our future grows. Amen, amen, and amen. I love that prayer. And today's daily word, one of Unity's oldest publications, the word for today is faith. And the affirmation is, through faith I create the good I desire. And I love that they said it that way. It's not the thing that I desire. It's not the circumstance I require or desire. It's the good I desire. How many times have we thought we were praying for one thing, and more deeply what we were really praying for was love or healthy relationship or peace in our hearts and minds? And we may not have gotten the thing, but we got the essence of what we were really wanting. So through faith, I create the good I desire. Faith is my guiding light. It keeps me hopeful when I'm tempted to doubt and cheerful when I might otherwise feel gloomy. Faith tells me that even when the sky appears cloudy, the sun is still shining brightly above those clouds. Faith gives me a secure footing in the present as I plan for the future. Faith is the assurance that I am never alone, that everything I dream and do is divinely inspired. Every step I take in the direction of my aspirations is fueled by faith that they come to pass. All of the wisdom, power, love, and strength of God are mine to express as only I can. Leaving timidity and hesitancy behind, I use these divine attributes boldly and with confidence. Faith shows me the way forward. And the scripture, one that a lot of us know from Hebrews, now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction or evidence of things not seen. So the affirmation again, through faith I create the good I desire. All of us? Through faith I create the good I desire. And we say, so it is. So in a moment our band is going to sing one of our favorite songs here, I Am Light. And then Lesta Hardee will give our meditation and our message today, release and let go. For those of you who don't know Lesta, I can't imagine who that would be. Artist, author, licensed Unity teacher, and most importantly, red Jeep driver.
Yes.
And so our band, thank you for bringing us I Am Light. Let's take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. And listen to these words. In the quiet of thought, I ask for guidance on what and how to let go. I clear out, eliminate, and give away what I no longer need. I remove physical clutter, the unused items and things I've outgrown. Then I release habits, dependencies, unhealthy boundaries, and relationships that are not for my highest good. I release any unforgiveness or judgments that tether me to the past. Instead, I affirm a vital, positive life in the present. My experiences, in all their variety, have led me to the beauty of today. I let go of negative thinking or limited ideas about myself and my capabilities. I release doubt and fear. I break free from any feelings of inadequacy or lack. I shed the habit of criticizing others or myself. As I continue to release what no longer serves me, I make room for delightful circumstances and opportunities. In letting go, I create space and energy for the new. Let's take another deep breath into those words and consider them and know that they are true. When you feel like it, open your eyes, come back to this beautiful day, the sunshine, the leaves are falling when the wind blows out there. It's just so beautiful. I can't tell you, I'm so thrilled to be here. I'm so happy that each one of you are here, and even you listening on Facebook and maybe later on YouTube. What a thought. Who would have thought? So I want to tell you, those were not my words, but I have to tell you this. I am a great manifester, honestly. I have a friend that gets so aggravated at me. We'll drive up to the same place and I'll be there, and she goes, I always know you're here. You always find a parking space right out front. Oh well. But so I was writing down the words for some notes for what I wanted to talk about today, and of course the topic is the title is Release and Let It Go. And I thought, oh, that's right, I need to write down some notes for a meditation. And as I was looking up something else, this meditation popped up on my Google search from Reverend Bronte Colbert. I mean, she's a Unity minister. There's my dog. How perfect is that? And I'll be frank with you, I did not read the daily word, but you'll figure that out too, how perfect that was. So I came up here and wrote it down because I wanted to say it one more time. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. And hopefully you'll see what I'm talking about when as I'm talking about, as I'm going through my talk. So release and let it go. When I say those words, I bet, I don't know how many people are here, but I bet every single person has a different thought of what they need to let go. Because we're all different, and we come here from different directions, okay? Whatever that it is. What I want to talk to you about today is releasing whatever is holding you back. What holds you back from being the you that you're supposed to be? We have these images in our head, but sometimes we need to clear those out because they're holding you back. Have you ever considered that you are not dreaming big enough? One thing I've learned with Unity is how to pray. I've never been one of those that I just don't get on my knees and pray.
Although I do like that song that includes those words. What I've learned with unity is when I pray to not ask for specifics, but to say this or something better. Because what if there is something better out there that I can't even imagine today? So, I'll tell you this for an example. I had a job for 30 plus years, and after I was there about 5 years, which was kind of hard for me, because I'd been one that kind of flitted around to jobs, but after I'd been there about 5 years, I got, I can't remember the word, but not tenured, but I was in, so to speak, okay? And so me being a numbers person, I sat down and got my little Excel document out, and I thought, well, if I'm here 30 years and I get this much raise each year, then I'll be making about this much money. And I can retire in 30 years, because there's also a formula as to the age that you can retire and all that good stuff. Well, 29 years came. I was going through my old, obviously really old, because I keep everything, going through my old computer files, and I found this document. I was making, at 29 years, the exact amount of money that I had figured up 24 years prior to that. Was that chance, or did I manifest it? But the bigger question is, did I limit myself with that manifestation because I didn't say this or something better? It's a thought. I will say, though, that I did retire at 30 years, and I'm so happy I did. There is so much out there. I didn't know what the something better was, but I'm starting to know it now. I don't even know what I'm capable of, especially since I'm beginning to learn that I have put these limits on myself. And it's just kind of something I want y'all to consider. It's those old beliefs that I have in my head that I'm really working on these days. Getting rid of those old beliefs. As a lot of you know, I've released, and let me use that word, because that's the word we're talking about. I've released a lot of physical weight. Thank you. But along with that, I've been working on this one here. My thoughts and the things that I tell myself. The unworthiness. The I can't do that. Those negative thoughts that just run rampant through my head. Some of it's media, some of it's social, some of it's self-imposed. And I'll tell you, frankly, with all the weight that I had, I was in physical pain all the time. It hurt. You know, in the old building, we had stairs that went up to the second floor. I hated going up those stairs because it hurt to go up those stairs. It hurt to come down the stairs. It hurt to stand. It hurt to walk. I mean, it just hurt. They say that you have to hit rock bottom for something to motivate you or to catapult you into something else. And I realized that one day that I was slowly killing myself. No matter what I did, I kept gaining weight. The pain kept getting bigger. I kept isolating myself even more and more. And I can't really pinpoint the exact moment, but I finally realized I was at a crossroads and I had to do something. And I won't go into all that, but 15 months later, I'm somewhere different. Because I realized I had choices. It may have been a rock and a hard place sometimes when you have that choice, but we do have choices every single day, every moment of our life. And when I hit that rock bottom, I was sitting in the back room in my house at my desk, and I didn't get down on my knees, but I did pray to God. I said, I need help with this. Now, this reminds me of something that happened Monday. I was talking to someone Monday, and I was talking to him about prayer and how I pray, and because we're different. I mean, I don't even know what his spiritual, religious background is, but I know that we're a little different. And I use those terms, this or something better. And he said, oh, I've got to tell you this story. He said, I was talking to someone else about prayer, and he said, the person told him that God answers all prayers with one of 3 answers. Okay? And I'm thinking, okay. Bring them on. 1, yes. 2, not right now. 3, I have something better in mind for you. Okay? Hello, how awesome is that? And I told him, I said, oh, I'm using that in my talk on Sunday, because that's exactly what I said, what I was talking about. So how many times have you asked for something specific and maybe you didn't get it, but maybe something better came along? I remember one time I have several, but one of my brother-in-laws, they were living in another state and they wanted to move back to this state because this is where we're from. And so he applied for several jobs, and he was in the running for 2 jobs toward the end. He really wanted, I'll just call it job number 1, but they picked someone else for that job. So he got job number 2. So job number 2 moved him back to the state. He was here he worked in that job for about a year or so, but it ended up, and I don't remember the reason why, and it doesn't really matter for this, what I'm telling you, but it ended up not working out. And he's out one day because he's in South Carolina, and he's actually in the city where this other job number 1 was. He's out getting coffee, I think he said, and he ran into the person from the job number 1 that had interviewed him. And the guy says, oh my gosh. Oh, now let me preface, we didn't have cell phones quite the way we do now, and internet and email and all, it wasn't real easy to find people. Now I'm talking 25, 30 years ago, okay? So he runs into this guy at a coffee shop, and the guy goes, oh my gosh, that first guy didn't work out. I have been wondering where you were. I want to offer you that. He said he offered him the job right that moment. And my brother-in-law said, okay. So he asked for more money, and he asked for more benefits, and the guy said, done. And I think God said, yes. Not right now. I've got something better.
That's great.
Right? I know that it isn't easy to wait, but it's worth it. It isn't easy to make changes in our lives, but it's worth it. It isn't easy to examine your life, to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly, but it's worth it. This is my life, and I'm responsible for it. I'm an adult. I'm responsible for my life. Yes, things have happened to me, around me, because of me being me. Some things I had no control over. But I am responsible for how I respond to what happens in my life. And I'm here to tell you, I want the something better. Not just for me, but for every single one of you. You are worth the something better.
Amen.
Honestly, I want you to feel as good as I feel right now. I have no pain. I am off all prescription medicine except for allergy pills. Hello, South Carolina. My allergist, well, I went the other day, but the first time we ever had allergy testing, he says, "When did you move to South Carolina?" I said, "My people have been here since the 1600s." Anyway. But beyond all the physical, I'm working on, like I said, I'm working on this mental. These thoughts that run rampant through my head. And I have honestly I've been working on them for years, but each year I seem to delve a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper. And this year I've gone even deeper. I want to know how I got here, why, where do I want to go, what do I want to do with the rest of my life, because it ain't over yet. As Reverend Margaret told you, I'm an author. I'm a local historian. I've written a couple of local history books, and I'm also a genealogist, and I like to read obituaries.
Of course you do.
I get them emailed to me. But it's because otherwise I'll miss these people that are... I had one grandfather that had 25 kids. I can't keep track of all my relatives, okay? He did have 3 wives. But I love to read these obituaries and see what people did in their life. Okay? I have my obituary written, and I update it periodically. But consider this. When you read some of them, you think, wow, that was a life well lived. And then some of them, they lived, there's the funeral, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's nothing there. They're really disappointing, because I think to myself, that person was a person. They lived. So what do you want your obituary to read? I mean, that's just something to consider. You don't have to do like me and write it out. So there are many quotes that come to mind when I think about my life, and I love this one by Emile Zola. He says, "If you ask me what I came to do in this world, I, an artist, will answer you, I am here to live out loud." First time I ever heard that, it just sang to me, but recently I realized that I hadn't been living out loud, and I'm here to tell you that I am now. I know that the pandemic has really been hard for a lot of people. I want to say, though, that it's what helped me get to here today. Made me look at a lot of real truths. And like I said, besides the weight, it's these old beliefs, this negative thinking that I've really been working on. And the byproduct of all those negative thoughts and thinking for, I'll say, many years. Right now, I am living a life that I only dreamt about. And even though I know that I don't think my dream is big enough, but I am at least getting to the point of my dream, and I now know that there's just so much out there. It's just, I get excited thinking about it. I am excited. I get excited to get up in the morning anymore. Whereas before it used to be difficult to get up. Now I get up and I'm happy to start the day. So I took a class earlier in this year. It was a 15-week workshop. It was probably some of the hardest, it was the hardest, some of the hardest weeks that I've ever had to do. Because I delved really deep into what was going on up here. I examined my life and I came up with some very hard truths. And I feel like if I don't acknowledge them, then I can't make changes. And I'm going to give you a list of these things. And I might start crying. I am selfish, controlling, fearful. I expect way too much from people. I'm impatient. I need people more than they need me. I'm self-centered. I'm a worrier. I am vain, domineering, manipulative, arrogant, dishonest, envious. I'm a big self-sabotager. I'm intolerant. I'm lazy. I'm oversensitive. I am a procrastinator. I am not always good at relationships. There are times I have self-pity. I'm a victim and shameful. But within this workshop, like I said, it looked at the good, the bad, and the ugly. I also came to these truths. Because you cannot have one without the other. And these are actually harder for me to read. I am loving, creative, brave, kind, compassionate, eager, respectful, willing, teachable, forgiving, humorous, loyal, nurturing, calming, spiritual, optimistic, wise, humble, open-minded, insightful, non-judgmental, honest, grateful. Did I say hopeful? Hopeful, worthy. And only by coming to these truths about myself can I even begin to make changes. I'm here to tell you, I am doing things I have never done before. I'm taking a class right now, And if you know me at all, I love to take classes. I love to facilitate and teach classes. But in this class, they came up with there's a term in there that I'm going to start using. I am a creativity facilitator. Doesn't that sound like fun? I love to see the light bulb go off in people's, I can actually see it up there sometimes. So anyway, I'm taking this class. It's called The Artist's Way, and if you haven't taken it, you should consider it. I'm even considering facilitating it because it's fabulous. We are all creative. And just because the word artist is in the title, do not let it hold you back from taking the class. You do not have to be a painter, for example, because a lot of people think of artists as painters or sculptors or whatever. We all are creative. And this book is designed to bring forth and release that creativity that resides in all of us. So there's an exercise in the book that we just did, and I loved it. It's called Buried Dreams. And the exercise is composed of 6 very simple questions. And the goal is to read the question and just quickly write the answer without thinking too much. And this is the let it go portion of this talk. So just let your imagination go. Now just think of one thing, as I read these questions. So here are the questions. List 5 hobbies that sound fun. List 5 classes that sound fun. Fun is the big thing here. List 5 things you personally would never do that sound fun. List 5 skills that it would be fun to have. List 5 things you used to enjoy doing. List 5 silly things you would like to try once. So how are those? Aren't those fabulous?
Yeah.
It just kind of gets you thinking about what's holding me back from doing some of these things. And the answer to some of those questions might change your life. Consider this. What would the something better look like to you? Imagine if it was so good that you can't even see it. Or imagine that this something better can be more. Let's put it that way. I had no idea that 15 months ago I would feel this good. I've not only lost the weight, I've lost so many inches I can't even begin to tell you. I don't even know what dress size I'm in anymore because I have gotten rid of every piece of clothing that I own. But I'm doing things. Well, I'll tell you this. I haven't told anybody this, but I'll tell you this. You'll be the first. Just keep it between you and me. I saw this woman when I was a little child do something that I was mesmerized by. Okay? And I just thought, how does she do that? Because I just thought it was beautiful. So first, let me tell you, I started Tai Chi lessons. I hadn't done that I had done that in years. That was one of those things I used to do that I didn't do. So when I was there, I saw this other class, and I thought, oh, I've always wanted to do that. And I'm taking belly dancing lessons. And I'm telling you, it is not as easy as it looks. So I want to close with this. I am a spiritual being having a human experience. Some days it's very hard. But I have to tell you that most days it's pretty awesome. I know that I am worthy, and I have made the decision to show up for this moment in time for something better. And I would like for you to consider showing up for your something better.
The live stream audience can't see this, but Lesta just got a standing ovation. Wow. I don't know if Lesta noticed or not, but I couldn't stop smiling as I was listening to Lesta. So good to see you living into your something better, Lesta. I celebrate that with you. Best line of the day, though, in her southern accent, I love to read obituaries. That's all right. We love you just the way you are. Well, that's a wonderful invitation and challenge for all of us to live into the something better. What a wonderful teaching. In a moment, we are going to live into something better by sharing our tithes and offerings. I just noticed that my check is not dated. I guess I better do that. But before we move into the time for our offering and donations and living into unity, something better, I'm realizing that being in the Surfside building for so many years with no windows upstairs, I used to have to open the fire escape to get a little bit of outside energy into the building. And I was so grateful for that fire escape door, really. And Ruth Cox and Joanna Adams painted a mural on the back wall so it looked like I had a window. Wish we could have brought that with us. But this is a part of the something better that I saw for a lot of years for unity. And we're still being surprised by what the something better is and what it's becoming. So before we move into our time of our offering, I want to razzle and dazzle you with some announcements. Is that okay? Yes. So that's a very important table back there. But even if you're not here to participate in gathering things off the table, you have access to all these things. If you're not getting our general reminder emails, if you're not getting information about what's going on, you need to make sure that our office has your correct email. We put all of our information on the calendar on our website, and we are on Facebook a lot announcing our events. So this is our month at a glance for October. It has lots of wonderful things in it that you'll want to know about, including next Sunday. There's a speaker that I'm interested to hear what she has to say. I'll be speaking. and it's a two-part lesson, and the title is What Our Gardens Teach Us. And that talk has been talking to me already, and if you have something you'd like to share with me about what your garden is teaching you and has taught you, I'd love to hear from you during the week. On your Sunday handout, you have an extensive list of the four groups that we support with our tithes and donations from this church. A list for Help for Kids, Family Justice Center, 2 Family Justice Centers, Helping Hands, and we've now added the Boys and Girls Club. So your help is needed, your support is gratefully received for all those groups. If you want to bring items to the office, leave them in the front room, on the couch, and we will see that they are delivered. Now, this is a handout you're going to want to have and take home and put it on your refrigerator and give it to your neighbors and your friends, because there's some fun things happening. Number 1, starting this coming Tuesday, every Tuesday in October, some of us are going to meet out here Some of us from 10 to 1, some of us will be here earlier, and some of us will stay later. But we are going to be doing things like planting trees and shrubs and weeding and picking up debris and weed whacking and bush trimming and mowing and hauling off trash to the recycle deliveries, and we're purging the barn and organizing the barn. Why? Because we are getting ready for the anticipation of refurbing that barn as our new sanctuary. And so if you would like to participate and go through our possessions out in the barn, and we can release and let go of some of them, donating them, selling them at the yard sale, and also taking them to Habitat for Humanity. But we are purging the barn. And we will have an outdoor event on December 4th, and that's part of the yard sale, will be a part of that. And that Saturday, December 4th yard sale will have items brought in for the yard sale, plant sale, book sale, food truck. Artists and crafters are invited to set up a table. We'll have more information about that. Please take this home. And also on November 7th, we'll have a town hall, and we'll go over what's happening in the building fund, what's happening with the architect, what's happening with permitting, what's happening with plans for the barn, and we'll have plenty of time for Q&A. Everybody take a deep breath. That's all the announcements I think that I have. Anybody have announcements that I'm not covering? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
When can we start bringing stuff for the yard sale?
Yeah, I'm going to let you know that maybe by next week. Yeah. When can we start bringing things in for the yard sale? We'll have more information next week. Okay, so let's take a deep breath. Let's once again give thanks for our lesson today and the invitation to release and let go. And in that light, you can now release and let go of your tithes, your donations, and your offerings in green, the form of green energy for this church. So we need 2 folks with the buckets. Can we have you up here, please? And you can make your checks to Unity Myrtle Beach. We still receive tithes and donations online. And our building fund is still being donated to, and we are very grateful for our prosperity. So please take your tithes, your donations, your offerings in your hand, or just cup your hands and hold them in a prayerful attitude for blessing of this church community. So many ways that people give in terms of volunteering and time and energy and talent and the green energy. So we bless all the activities of this church community. We bless all that's been accomplished already and all that's before us in our highest and in our best. And we give thanks for the unfolding blessings, seen and unseen, all those who've had a part in creating this Unity Myrtle Beach, all those here now and all those yet to come. We give thanks for all of the healing energy that surrounds us here in the seen and the unseen. We give thanks for blessings of the ancestors. And we bless these tithes and offerings to do good work. And we say, so it is, and so we let it be. We let our best be. Namaste. And now the band's going to sing Cool Change.
I'm going the other side.
If there's one thing in my life that's missing, it's the time that we spend alone, sailing on the cool and bright
we love all the people who support and help in creating this divine idea called unity. We bless the gifts and the givers and all of the projects to which this green energy is put. And we give thanks. And so it is, and so let it be. Namaste. Woo! And we can say woo-hoo. So we are now going to share our updated prayer of unity inspired by James Dillett Freeman's prayer for protection. If you don't know the words by heart yet, they're on that handout with the 2 prayers. So together, please. The light of God surrounds us. The presence of love enfolds us. The power of peace protects us. And the one presence that lives within all creation enlivens us. Wherever we are, love is, peace is, light is, God is, and all is well. And now we sing our peace song like a prayer. I'll see many of you out here on Tuesday for our October Workday Tuesdays. And stand if you will, if you can, if you want. We sing our peace song like a prayer.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2.